Hey, this is Jeremy from Shine Insurance, and today we're sitting with Matt Murphy and Mark Greiner of Harris Services. Harris Services is a remediation company here in Bloomington, Indiana. They help people who have bad things happen to their home fix them quickly. And our video today is really going to talk through how that process works. So we're just going to talk through the steps in specifically a water claim. They deal with lots of different kinds of claims, but water is a common one that they experience. And we're going to talk through the steps that happen to go from bad thing happening to everything being fixed. So both of you, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So let's start from the very beginning. Let's use an example of we've got a water pipe that broke inside of our house. Who knows the reason, but the water pipe has broken. Let's say it broke on the main floor and caused a lot of water damage in and around the space that happened. You guys see, I would imagine you guys see things like that all the time, yeah?
All the time.
Oh, every single week.
Okay. So as a homeowner, what's the first thing that I should do when I'm in that situation?
The first thing we need to do is identify where the water's coming from so we can stop the water from flowing. So that could be shutting off the water at the main. If it's a water heater, shut it off at the intake. If it's underneath a sink or a toilet, there's usually a shut off there. So identifying what we need to do. If we can't ourselves identify it, then call a plumber immediately.
So the first thing we need to do is stop the problem.
Stop the problem.
Okay, cool. So we've stopped the problem. We figured out where that water was coming from. We've shut it off. What's next?
Next is we've got to clean it up and dry it up. Now, that's where insurance comes in. You might make that call to your agent, say, hey, my water heater ruptured. Is this covered, or can I get it reported to the insurance company? Then it comes down to someone's got to deal with this.
That's exactly right.
And if it's a large amount of water, it's going to require a professional remediation outfit.
So step 2 is kind of twofold. One is that we need to contact our insurance company. And I think it's important to note that our insurance company is potentially the money behind the cleanup. No one from the insurance company is going to come out and clean up this water, but they have the potential of being the one who are going to help you pay for it based on the policy that you've purchased from them. So getting in contact with them right away gets that side of the process started. And then what you said on the other side is that we need to get someone to help us clean it up. Now, if it's a tiny spill, a tiny situation, would you suggest always calling a remediation company, or is there some kind of, like, how would we know maybe whether we need professionals or not?
I think that's a discussion you could have with your insurance agent or with a company like Harris Services. You can make the call and let us know what it is. We look at things for free, but it's a matter of assessing what you have. Sometimes it doesn't seem so bad, but if your water loss happens on the 3rd floor and it flows down between the walls, and it can actually be inside the walls and invisible to you and it not appear as extensive as you originally thought, we have moisture detection equipment that can assess those areas to make sure that, you know, if things need to be opened up and dried out, that happens to prevent mold and more serious problems.
Okay, so talking with your insurance agent, or, you know, giving someone like you all a call and having you come out, you do that for free. I think, you know, I've seen you all do that really, really well. Go out and assess a situation and just say, hey, you know, I think that you really do need us. Here's why. Or, you know, I don't know that you need us. You can probably solve this on your own doing X, Y, Z. Makes sense, right?
Exactly.
Okay, let's assume that the damage is more and that we need you all. So we've called you out to this water situation. What happens next?
We're going to show up with a fully stocked vehicle with dehumidification equipment, dryers, moisture detection equipment, and techs that can do what they need to do. And that may be, once the water's cleaned up, we may have to take up your carpet, we may have to pull up some flooring, because if water's trapped between your carpet pad and the subfloor underneath, there's no way to dry it out if it's that wet, if it's been running for an extended period of time. So we're going to make those assessments, and we're going to do the things in accordance with the professional training that we've received on water damage remediation.
Mm-hmm. So I've been in situations and watched you guys deal with it where, you know, it looked like maybe the water damage wasn't so bad, but once you started to see where the water had seeped into, what kind of drywall was affected, what kind of subflooring was affected, we ended up, you know, taking some stuff out in that first 2 or 3 hours just to make sure that right off we get it dried out as quickly as as we can, and we don't get mold issues or anything like that, which is the problem with not dealing it with correctly, right?
Huge concern. Once mold begins to grow, especially in the summer months, it can grow rampantly very quickly within a few days. So the quicker we can get on it and start drying it down, the better.
Okay. So we've addressed the water. We've dealt with the situation. If we had to pull up some flooring, we did. If we had to pull out some drywall, we did. Now we've got a house that looks pretty messed up. What happens next?
Well, what happens next is an agreement to meet with the insurance adjuster. They come out, make their assessments, get their photographs, and either your remediation company or your insurance companies are going to write an estimate. Mm-hmm. And that estimate should be discussed with you, and there should be conversation going back and forth on what needs to be done to put it back to its pre-loss condition. Mm-hmm. And pre-loss condition is going to mean putting back like, kind, and quality materials. So if you had an expensive floor, you're going to get an expensive floor back. Same thing with your walls, matching paint colors, trims, and so forth. So it's to put you back where you were prior to the incident happening.
Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be a conversation between really three people. One is the homeowner themselves. The second is the contractors that are now involved and are going to be helping to put this stuff back together. And the third is the claims adjuster who, assuming the policy covers the loss, is going to be paying for fixing that damage. So those three people should be communicating essentially as a team to come up with what this is going to cost and how it's going to get done.
Exactly. And the homeowner should be involved in all those conversations.
Okay. And does a homeowner, so I'm thinking in my head, I'm imagining this scenario. I got some drywall work. I've got some plumbing work. Sounds like I might have some flooring work. I've got a whole bunch of different kinds of things that I need done. As a homeowner, is it my responsibility to go out and hire all of these different people and kind of manage the project?
That depends on what the homeowner wants to take upon themselves. Harris Services is a general contractor, and we can hire all of those and control the entire project for you. It is your home. It is your decision on who you hire to work in your home and do the restoration. But when you have an extensive loss that may involve multiple trades like drywall, painting, plumbing, framing, there could be kitchen cabinets. You're going to have multiple contractors involved, and to have somebody manage your project, that's actually going to be paid for by your insurance company.
Yeah, so I think a lot of times the remediation company, that company that comes out the very beginning to deal with the immediate situation, has the ability, if the homeowner chooses for them to general contract the whole thing. They know plumbers, they know framers, they know drywallers. And there's some positives to that, which is the biggest positive, I think, is that there's only one person talking with the insurance adjuster. So rather than multiple different contractors having to communicate with the insurance adjuster, you have one person on the insurance side and one person on the contractor side to manage the whole process. In my experience, that's worked much, much better than any other avenue. But again, as you said, the homeowner has the choice as to how they go about that.
Absolutely. Everyone's working toward the benefit of the customer to do what's right to get you restored to your pre-loss condition.
Mm-hmm. So then all that stuff is going to happen. We're going to have the work done to fix the walls, fix the floors, fix whatever was done. And what are the next steps?
Again, once the insurance settlement comes, and then you pick your contractor to do the work, then the work would be completed. A final walkthrough would be done to make sure everything was done to your satisfaction. Oftentimes, the insurance company will withhold depreciation, and that means that money will be held until the end and the work is completed. Once that is done, they'll either re-inspect the loss or have send a certificate of completion. You'll get your recoverable depreciation.
Mm-hmm. So the insurance company essentially pays out, if all things go kind of perfectly, 2 different times in a claim. They'll make an original payment once the scope of the loss has been kind of come to between the contractor and the insurance adjuster, what they think it's going to cost to fix it. They'll make a payout that's less than what they plan to totally pay out in the end, assuming we have a replacement cost policy. And then at the end, they'll pay out kind of the rest, for lack of a crazy.
Exactly. They're kind of holding money in escrow to make sure that the work gets done, the monies get spent, and then they release it to you.
Okay. And so in the end, your house is a mansion 3 times the size of the one you had before?
Your house is put back to its pre-loss condition.
Oh, that's right. Pre-loss condition. Okay, cool. Anything else you want to add to the process?
The important thing is to have that conversation and stay involved in the process so you know what's happening within your own home.
Okay. Well, if we do want to find you, if someone, a homeowner, wants to find you all, how can they do so?
You can find us on the internet at www.callharrisservices.com. You can follow us and like us on Facebook under Harris Services, and you can remember our phone number, which is 812-824-5055.
All right, Matt and Mark, thank you so much for sitting here with us, having a conversation with us about how homeowners claims work.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
If you enjoyed this video, there's a couple more that I wanted to suggest to you. The first one is roof claims. We'll talk through roof claims similar to how we talked through water claims here. And the second is 5 ways a homeowner's claim could be denied. Not all policies cover all things. Some are better than others. We'll talk about 5 different common things that are excluded or not covered under a homeowner's policy. Finally, if you need other insurance advice, check us out at www.shineinsurance.com. Our blog adds to our YouTube channel and everything else. And if you need insurance itself and you're in the states of Indiana, New York, Ohio, or Florida, we'd be more than happy to take care of you. And finally, as always, our last steps, we would love for you to subscribe to our channel, like this video right below the video, and share the video with your friends if you know someone who's experienced a homeowner's claim or just needs a little bit of advice on how the homeowner's claim process works when it comes to water claims. We're more than happy to help them out. Good information is only great when it's shared with others. Until the next time, have a wonderful day.